Cansado, huh? Okay, I'm gonna go into the Hotel Bolivar and see if I can look around. I was there like 3 years ago during the pandemic because I heard that's where like the nicest bar in the city was. There's something very traditional about having a pisco sour there. I'm not gonna have a pisco sour there now, but I think it's more open and lively. When I was there 3 years ago, it was pretty dead. It was very quiet. I mean, pandemic, everything was like quarantined and, you know, but I was able to walk through the lobby and all that stuff. So it looks pretty wide open. I see a bunch of people, so I'm gonna go there now and I might not be able to go in. I do see some kind of queue at the door, but we'll see. Okay, I heard there's a queue for I think for the terrace, which might be the bar they're talking about, that nice bar, something. 15-20 minutes again. I don't really need to do that, so I'm not gonna go any further. But the Hotel Bolivar is, I mean, you gotta make the calculation if you want to stay downtown here. You are in the thick of it, and at night it's a little sketchy, but no worries, you know, it's survivable. But it's the Grand Hotel Bolivar, so it's famous if you know about Lima and the history here. Oops, okay, I'm back. I'm still learning how to use this camera, so. ¿De qué están hablando? ¿Político?
Allá política.
Política.
Acá libro.
¿Libro?
Sí, acá.
¿O libros? ¿Literatura? Oh, okay. Okay, now I'm gonna get a taxi to that restaurant. I'll tell you one thing, there are no tourists around here. This is downtown Centro, Lima. It's interesting. It's very interesting to wander around. I've seen this before in this plaza. Maybe this plaza is known for that, I'm not sure. But you know, someone will be talking, giving a speech or something, and people will circle around them and listen. And you know, they are orating, they're making statements, they're professing ideas. I don't really know. I really can't understand the Spanish, but it has to do with, you know, with the culture, just being out in public, being in the town square and speaking and having an audience publicly, you know, and it's all very peaceful. It's totally peaceful. This is Peruvian culture here. Mucha gente afuera. ¿Es normal los sábados porque hay una celebración
No, sí,
de pesca en Plaza de Armas? Hay mucha gente.
Normalmente los sábados es así.
Los sábados.
Siempre sábado muy lindo.
Fines de semana.
Fin de semana.
So obviously I have to get a grip on controlling the focus with this camera. It's either focusing on the foreground or the background, but not both. So I will figure this out for next time. Okay folks, I'm in El Bolivariano, el restaurante. Iba a hablar en español, pero no es necesario. First time I've been here. Another classic Peruvian place. All the dishes are really typical. You see this everywhere. It's a big menu with tons of stuff, and I love the atmosphere here. I love these kinds of restaurants. So I ordered a salad. Corn, cheese, peas, beans, olives, and chopped hot pepper, and then I got a rocoto relleno, stuffed pepper, stuffed with minced beef and spices, served with a potato gratin. So it's gonna be really good. I'm really excited for that. So time to enjoy a cold beer. So this salad has chocolate corn, big starchy corn. This is a cheese. I have no idea what it is.
Well, let's clear that up
Wild.
a bit right now.
We've got
Andean cheese, or queso andino,
fava
is a
beans, I
very
guess.
common staple in the highlands of Peru,
Then we've got
especially in regions like Cusco,
Olives.
Ayacucho, and Cajamarca. It has
really
deep
good.
roots
It's
in
big,
rural
too.
farming
Huge
communities
salad.
of the Andes Mountains. It emerged after Spanish colonization introduced dairy animals like cows, sheep, and goats. Indigenous communities adapted cheese-making techniques to local conditions, creating simple, fresh cheeses that could
this
be
is the
made
ricotta
without
reño.
advanced equipment. It's not one single
say, I
standardized
think it's
cheese, but
incredible,
rather a
but-
family of rustic, fresh cheeses, usually mild, slightly salty, and crumbly. And it goes
I've only
really
had this
well
once
with a salad
before.
like this.
but it was outstanding before. I'm not sure about this one. It kind of tastes like sloppy Joe. Okay, I just left El Bolivariano. Gosh, I don't know what to say. I mean, I gotta be completely honest. Where am I? Okay, there I am. I just left El Bolivariano. I gotta say, I have to be completely honest. I'm not here to promote. I'm only here to promote things that I really, really liked. And that was a bit disappointing. The portions were absolutely enormous, and the ricotta reño, it wasn't that good actually. I'm a little surprised. I had it once before at El Bodegon, where I ate a few days ago, and it was incredible. I mean, mind-blowing. It was so good. I'll show, some pictures of that, and this really fell quite short. I'm surprised. I mean, the atmosphere of the restaurant was very nice, and I'm sure that many other dishes are probably very good, but that was kind of disappointing. I mean, please, by all means, come here, come to this restaurant, but don't get the ricotta reño. It's not necessary. I'm not a professional tour guide. I'm here to just kind of tell it like it is. And not every meal is stellar. Not every meal is going to blow your mind. But it's important to try a lot of different places. I've been to probably 50 restaurants, here. And I've had some amazing meals, but I'll be honest with you, I've had some not so amazing meals, and that's pretty typical. So I'm not here to just sell Peru and sell Lima and say glowing things about every little thing. I'm just giving you the real deal. I'm here, I'm walking around, I'm trying different restaurants. Some are amazing, some are okay. It was 79 soles for that big salad and the ricotta reño and a big beer. So, 18 bucks, 15, 16, something like that. And it's 6 p.m. It's a little after 6:30. I'm kind of zonked now from the day. The sun is getting lower. And actually the sun sets around 6:45. So I'm going to get a taxi back to Miraflores. And I might catch the sunset. But I'm in Pueblo Libre, which is it's pretty loud and crazy here with the traffic and all that stuff. So I'm gonna get a taxi back to my chill neighborhood, and we'll catch you on the rebound. By the way, as I was just describing where I am, this restaurant, El Bolivariano, there's another restaurant right around the corner. It's called Carolo Taberna. It's excellent. I don't know if it's kind of a similar menu, but I've only had some snacks there. But it's also classic, traditional kind of typical Peruvian food. But I had a much better time. I had a great experience there. It's right around the corner. Very elegant, very nice. That's another option for this neighborhood as a good restaurant. This is debriefing number 2. I'm now back at my apartment here. And just to recap the day, I've had a great day. It's been a long day, actually. I will say that it cost more than twice as much to get back from Centro to Miraflores than it costs to get there. So for your reference, if you visit here, today from Miraflores to Plaza de Armas, which is like clear across the city, 15 soles, okay? Totally fine. And then when I went from Plaza San Martin, which is at least half a mile south of that, to Pueblo Libre, the restaurant, it was 18.50, and I rounded up. I always round up 1 or 2 soles to give them a little tip. That was only halfway. And then just now I got dropped off in a taxi from Pueblo Libre to Miraflores to my apartment, and it was 15, and I gave him 16. So with a little bit of a tip, 16 plus 20, 36 soles to get back from Centro, whereas it only costs 15 to get into Centro. So that's a huge difference, more than double, And I think I can only explain that by saying maybe it's like in Centro, because of the location, to get out of that area, they just kind of start you, they baseline at a very much higher rate to get out of that area. Maybe they know, it's touristy, it's downtown, all that stuff. So that was kind of not as much fun, but it's all fine, in the end. But just so you know. And so now the sun has set. It's almost dark, pretty much dark. And I'm going to go into my apartment and relax. I will pick up tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a chill day. I think I'll go down to the beach and I'll do some video recording down there and get some great clips of the beach. Maybe the surfers and all that good stuff. Okay, good night.
Well, it turned out to be a rather foggy day. This is fairly common in Lima, regardless of the season. But even with all the fog and spending 6 months in Lima in total, never once did I see it rain. So lots of dramatic fog, but virtually no rain.
Hey folks, it is Sunday, February 2nd. This is my last full day in Lima. Yesterday I had my big day in Centro and I was exhausted. I had a couple of drinks, walked around in the hot sun all day, got home around 6:37 and just crashed. So drank a big bottle of water and then just kind of vegged out. So now I'm up again, it's a fresh new day and it's my last full day. Before I leave tomorrow night, I'm gonna go to one more restaurant and it's gonna be a really traditional, typical place, probably for lunch tomorrow. It's called Huancavelica and it's in, I think it's San Borja. I know where it is. But the barrier, the way the neighborhoods kind of blend and overlap, I don't know every exact street and all that stuff. So anyway, it's a foggy day today, really foggy. And gorgeous. I don't mind this at all. I'm in Miraflores, I'm looking down the cliffs to the highway on the beach and the beach itself with the waves. And it's just a very misty look and it's really, really nice. So I'm gonna try to get some images of the fog here, some video. Really cool. By the way, Lima can be very foggy. January, February, we are in summertime now. And while it's often foggy, it never rains. I mean, I've never seen it rain here once. Seasonally, our summer is their winter is our summer. So May and June, it's typically like overcast, kind of clammy in the 50s and 60s. It's like the kind of weather where you're not sure if you need a jacket or not. You put on a jacket, then you're kind of sweating a little bit. You take it off, then you're kind of cool. But the summer months are really, really nice since I've been here. But I'd say it's foggy, probably 2 days out of the week. But other days it's good hot sun, but not like overbearing. It's like in the low to mid 80s generally. So kind of walking along the park here in the Malecon. And then it's very quiet today, but there are a lot of people, couples, people walking their dogs. Very, very nice to see people just kind of enjoying themselves, relaxing. You know, where I was yesterday, they had some hotels and all that, but I don't know anybody who stays in that neighborhood, you know? It's really nice to be able to, as a tourist, stay on the coast here, because you can do what I'm doing, which is get some fresh air, walk down to the beach, enjoy, you know, the whole western side of your view is just open ocean. So you get that kind of sense of openness and sense of escape, sense of relief that you might not have when you're in the inner part of the city, Centro and many other neighborhoods. Like I was in Pueblo Libre, and kind of average, you know, it's just kind of generic. So anyway, I'm gonna turn the camera around. It's a foggy day. You can smell the salt water. It's that kind of earthy, seaweed, oceany, shellfish, rotting fish kind of smell. And I'll show you, Lima's unique. You know, they have these beaches, but they're not really, oh gracias. They're not really swimmable. I mean, people do go in the water a little bit, but it's a little sketchy, and I wouldn't swim here. I'm not a fantastic swimmer. I can swim, but it's shallow in some parts, but in some areas it kind of, you go in, it kind of goes straight, you know, it's kind of a steeper angle. And the current, the riptide that pulls the waves out seems to be pretty strong, although, you know, I haven't been in the water, so I don't know. But people do lay out because it's what they've got here. And also the beaches here are notable because they have these enormous rocks. There's no sand. These are enormous rocks. And it's also very kind of unique. It's unique and kind of special in a certain way. And I'll show you some of that coming up. But I'm walking along the boardwalk here down at the coast, and the waves are just, it's like a rhythmic ebb and flow. The waves are just crashing in, you know, it's kind of constant. It's a little bit hypnotic. And the ocean is savage. You hear that? So it's actually quite foggy today, more than is typical. Usually it kind of burns off maybe in the late afternoon. But I mean, the visibility is pretty short, and but there are some people, you know, sitting on the beach, sitting on the rocks, and just kind of doing their thing. For example, right here, I don't know if you can see that, but it's quite steep going straight down into the water. I wouldn't swim there. I don't think anybody does, but there are a few areas where people go in, at least up to their knees or something. A lot of surfers. I'm not sure if they're out today. They're usually a little bit further down. But also, if you want to learn to surf, it's a big thing here. It's kind of one of the fun things of standing up on the Malecon looking down at the ocean. You can see all the surfers out in the water, and I've seen them catch a few good waves. You know, the waves seem to be, I don't know anything about surfing, but the waves seem to be kind of an easy size, you know, to learn on. So, and you can learn. There are surfing kind of schools where they'll take you out and teach you. I guess that would be cool if I did something like that, but I'm not really too interested. All right, I'm gonna check out some of the rocks down here. Hey, hola. You're gonna be famous. So right out on that jetty out there, there's a restaurant called La Rosa Nautica.
These rocks are definitely not comfortable to lay out on, trust me. People do it, and I've done it, but it's really because it's all there is in Lima. There are some beach areas south of Lima that are nicer. They have more sandy beaches, but I have not visited them.
So I just walked past all those surfers, and this one guy was talking to me, and we were talking. He spoke pretty good English, and he asked me, if I wanted to go out and surf. So, they teach foreigners. Foreigners come down here and they learn how to surf. I'm not really in the mood for it, but it's cool, man. We talked and stuff. So here's, I don't know if I can, like La Rosa Nautica on the jetty out there. This is one of those fancy restaurants that the ladies want you to take them to. I've actually never eaten there. I've heard kind of mixed reviews, but it is rather, it's not too fancy, but it's one of these nice, charming, traditional restaurants, and you're right out on the water, so it is quite romantic. Keep in mind, I've been here on many visits, so I've seen it all. But I'm gonna walk out. So there are a bunch of people on this pier here, couples, older couples, younger couples, and the women they all have a rose. I don't know if there's something about today, maybe because it's Sunday, I don't know. A lot of the women are carrying a rose and they're taking pictures of each other. It's kind of cute. It's really cute, actually. There's kind of an old world civility here, which we sometimes lack in the United States. I'm gonna walk just a little bit further. I've pretty much reached the Larcomar area, which is kind of the southern end of Miraflores, and then I'm going to turn around and walk back. Kind of going through a parking lot here. never said that. Like, in that conversation, the verb call is like caer, and there's so many bizarre conjugations. It's like caí, cae, cagaste, caemos. Good morning, everybody. It's Monday, February 3rd, 2025. This is my last full day in Lima. My flight heads out late tonight, so I've really got the whole day. Almost tripped there. Got a fresh, clean t-shirt on. Got to run a couple errands. I'm going to get a pastry and a coffee for breakfast. I don't know why there are policemen here. Okay, so that was the Pasteleria. It's Buen Gusto. Really lovely little cafe and bakery. And it just reminds me, like, they have a lot of these bakeries down here. Beautiful croissants, fresh, fluffy, buttery. I just had a apple strudel, a coffee, and fresh squeezed orange juice. I mean, and the whole thing was like $6. Not even. I also had 2 little mini sandwiches. You gotta love it. They have these little cafes, little bakeries all over the place. They sell cakes. They're really into cakes and like birthday celebrations and things like that. I kind of miss that. We don't really have that, at least in my town. I mean, I think I know one bakery in my town, and it's like gluten-free and, you know, then of course you've got Whole Foods, but not really the same. They have a lot of these very charming little cafes and bakeries. It's a big thing here. You can get little tortas and little mini cakes and things with fresh fruit. I mean, just really nice stuff here, and all for just, you know, pennies on the dollar. So also I noticed that there aren't really many tourists around here, not in this neighborhood. I mean, I'm in Miraflores, but I guess it's just more residential, maybe. I don't know why. I've seen one sort of gringo family, not sure where they were from, a few days ago at that cafe, at that bakery. But so I get some looks, I guess, when I go in there, and it doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me one bit. It's all good. I prefer to be in a locals kind of neighborhood. So I'm learning a bit more about this whole thing here and what we're doing here, and I'm kind of getting a better sense of my comfort zone. And I knew that would happen because everybody I've followed and videos I've watched on how to start a YouTube channel, you know, everyone says just start making videos. Don't think about it. Don't worry about it. Just start making videos. They're gonna suck. They're gonna be terrible. But you have to just start creating things to kind of get a sense of what you like to do and how it works and all that. So I'm learning that I don't like recording in restaurants. I don't like doing it. I don't like recording other people. I don't want to make other people uncomfortable. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't like holding a big camera up, you know, while I eat, you know, filming myself eat. It's just ridiculous. I'll let other people do that. So whenever I talk about a restaurant, it's going to be like a couple of photos, maybe the map or something, and simple stuff. I love doing photography of the cuisine, but I guess if I'm with a group or something. So that's how I work. And also I'm getting a little more comfortable just walking down the street talking to this thing. So now I'm gonna head to do one more errand. Actually gonna kill a little bit of time. I'm not quite ready for lunch. I just had kind of a heavy breakfast. Not too heavy, but. So I'm gonna hit an ATM machine and then walk into Parque Kennedy and stroll around for a bit, and then I'll get a taxi up to get lunch. So now I'm gonna. There's a lot of traffic here. I hope you can hear me. On the bakery theme, there is another big shop on the next block. It's like a cake store. I've never been inside. It's some kind of bakery, but they also specialize in big cakes, birthday cakes, celebratory cakes, and it's a very large venue. And I saw it the other day. I was walking by just to reinforce this cultural kind of thing, how they love cakes down here in bakeries. It's very special. So we certainly don't have this kind of quality bakery and cakes and things that I've ever seen in the US. I mean, of course you can find things, but you have to look a lot harder. Whereas here, they're like everywhere. Kitty. Hi. So we're near Parque Kennedy, and this park is known for having a lot of stray cats. They're everywhere. I mean, there's 6 or 7, 8 right here. Oh, there's another one over there. God, there are a lot of them. There's one there. He's just chilling right in the middle of the sidewalk. We got a couple over here. Hey guys, how you doing? You chilling? This one's walking around. So this is a park. Here's this cathedral. I'm behind this kind of big cathedral here in Parque Kennedy. Got these little homes here for the cats. Got 3 or 4 more over here. Hey guys, how you doing? Not up to much, huh? Pretty slow day. You guys are off the clock? Taking a union break? All right. I'm gonna keep moving here. Yeah. Kitty. Oh, yeah. Kitty, 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 kitty. A little chocolate shop. Little touristy shopping here. Jewelry, low quality ponchos, and of course a fluffy alpaca. Here's another cat. If you need to buy earrings for someone, everything's probably really overpriced here. Didn't really feel like going to Wonkawazi. This is right here. It gets great reviews. You know, it's always fun to try a new restaurant. So we got a nice Chilcano. It's a thin fish fillet. It's perfect. Not too much. Put the salsa creole on it. Gives it a nice citrusy bite. And it's still sizzling. Okay, I just got out of Avelino, Restaurante Avelino. That was a great decision. That was my executive functioning at play. I went to Plan B. You know, I was waiting around to get my appetite back, and I didn't really want to wait hours and hours all afternoon until I felt up for, you know, Wonkawazi, taking a taxi, that whole thing. So I just found this little place, which was new. I've never been there. Excellent restaurant, okay? It was perfect. I had a little fillet of fish with some potatoes and a salad. It wasn't too much food. It wasn't too big. It was just right. And I am happy about that because I'm getting a little tired of over ordering. And, you know, I mentioned I have this reduced appetite. And I'm tired of like ordering a plate and a salad, and it's just like enough food for 4 people. So this was perfect. And it came out to 57 soles with tip, 10% tip. So that's about 16 bucks. I mean, that's just great. So I'm happy. I'm gonna stroll around a bit, look at a couple shops, head back to the apartment, and probably veg out for a little bit, or I might go sit out in the park for a few hours. Peruvians love to line up at banks. You see that a lot. People physically go in to do their banking, and there's always 30 people in line.
So let's talk about tipping for a second. The standard tip in a decent sit-down restaurant will be 10%. You can modify that amount as you wish. There is no pressure or ill feelings whatsoever. They will have a handheld device to run your credit card at the table, and they will ask you right to your face, would you like to leave a tip? Personally, I find this method a little bit awkward, but it is what it is. Service is always gracious and satisfactory, and in any other situation, maybe a small cafe, rounding up or just leaving a few extra coins is appreciated, but by no means pressured or expected. In general, there is no unspoken pressure to tip like in the United States. You can leave 10% in a restaurant, you can leave 5%, you can leave 20%. They'll be very happy about that. But regardless, the service won't change and there will be no attitudes.
I might have walked past it. I might have missed the street, but I don't know. I'm gonna keep going here. It's one of these side streets. I don't remember exactly which one. Folks, so there you have it. That is a snapshot of a portion of my stay in Lima, January 2025. Probably my last trip down here. There are so many other places to visit. I apologize for the kind of haphazard nature of the whole video. This is my first kind of long form video I've done while traveling. It may seem a bit disorganized because I'm kind of just going on the fly with whatever I feel like talking about. I don't think I quite hit 5 restaurants like I planned for the last week. I've been here many times before, and I'm going to try to put together a little presentation of a lot of the food photography that I've taken on other trips and some maps just to show you where restaurants are. I hope I can put it all together. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope to make more videos on my next trip, whenever that may be. This was a learning experience, a bit rough around the edges, but I'm trying to just be natural and get used to feeling comfortable in front of the camera. So I'm going to hang out here. My flight is tonight. I'm pretty much packed up and ready to go. Just going to chill out for a few hours, and I might go outside again and walk around. You never know. We'll see. So thanks for watching again, and we'll see you at the next video.